The previous Lexus ES perhaps got a slightly raw deal in that a lot of people kind of saw it as nothing more than a kind of dressed up Camry because they did share some components. But Lexus is changing that with the new ES because this, well, this is a whole different kettle of fish. Now I could start at the front or I could start at the back. Either way, this is a design statement. First of all, you see this is not a traditional three-box saloon that we're used to seeing. You've got this full width light bar all the way across here with quite a lot of detail when you get in quite up close to it. You've got the Lexus word mark there, and this is the electric version, but there will be other different powertrains available. There's a lot of interesting designs and a lot of interesting lines with this, and I'm going to open up the boot a little later on because I want to show you how all that works. But when you come down the side, you see it's got this very gently sloping roof line. It's really like a fastback rather than a saloon. You've got flush door handles here that you reach into, again helping aerodynamics. But I think probably the one thing that is going to have most people talking is this design element that runs from the wing here through the two doors. It doesn't serve a real function other than design, but the whole point of this is to kind of bring together the fact that this is an electric vehicle, but it's also a saloon, so it does sit a little bit higher than we're used to seeing with a normal low slung hybrid saloon. Still, it does look quite interesting, and in this color you can really see how that creates this contrasting line that runs through it. Other details, well, you've still got quite a nice open glass house here that runs all the way through. There's this quite nice feature line that kicks up and comes right together and then wraps around. So there's a lot going on with this car. It's very different from the car that it replaces. Obviously, the big thing is that this is going to be available with an electric powertrain. So you've got the charge port here on the front wing, nice and easy to access. And when we come around to the side and around to the front of the car, again, you can see just how different and how striking this car looks. You've got obviously the kind of L design motif as a nod to the brand's logo here in the daytime running lights. And you see now how the spindle grille, as we're used to seeing it, has kind of dissipated. It's gone away. There are hints to it here, but really it's all just largely enclosed up the front here. There's a little bit of air intake here, and it is quite a striking design. Again, the contrasting black, like we've seen on the side door, is here on the front. Nice low slung bonnet. This car that is probably going to be very high performing when it comes to aerodynamics. It's not just about design, this is every bit as much about function. Lexus will offer two different electric powertrains in the ES. It starts with the 350e, which is a front wheel drive motor. It uses a 77 kilowatt hour battery and has a 224 horsepower output. There's also going to be a dual motor all wheel drive version. That's called the ES 500e. Interestingly, that gets a 75 kilowatt hour battery, but it does have extra power, 343 horsepower. Now, in terms of range, it will be up to 530 kilometers, and going from 10 to 80% on a DC charge will take you around about 30 minutes. Now, if electric isn't your thing, there's also going to be a hybrid version, the ES300H, that will be available with front wheel drive and all-wheel drive, and 201 horsepower is what countries in Central Europe and Western Europe will get. But if you're in Eastern Europe, due to different regulations, the ES350H is what will be available to you. Again, front wheel drive or all-wheel drive, and that version gets slightly more power at 247 horsepower. Now, when it comes to interiors, this company has always known how to turn out a good, high quality, well-made interior, and this is no different, but it is a lot more modern than we're used to seeing. Okay, there's not as many physical buttons as I would like, and yes, you do have a large touchscreen display here, and if I'm honest, a very stylish looking digital instrument display right in front of you as well, which does look quite good. But yes, there are some haptic buttons, shall we say. So the climate control here, all of this sits at this flush panel, but it does have haptic feedback, so it's kind of soft as you press it in. Other cars have done this, but this definitely feels better than what other people have done. So I'm not totally against it. It's not overly fussy, and you still get a very nice knurled volume knob here on the center as well. So, you know, we're willing to forgive that. Center console, you've got a small rocker toggle here for going for drive or reverse, and all the other buttons sit quite flush. So park is there. You've got a small electric handbrake, and slide that back, you've got 2 cup holders and 2 wireless charging pads and 2 USB ports. So there's a lot of space in here for putting your odds and ends. There's the usual under armrest there, and yes, it opens both sides because Lexus is just, they know how to do these things. They do it so well. The materials throughout is very nice. So you have a real mixture of stuff. You've got some nice lighting the way it's done in here. Obviously, you can customize that however way you want. And it's kind of a very structured cabin, how it's laid out from a design perspective. Lots of horizontal lines, gives it that sense of width across here. You know, it's not a particularly high scuttle at the bottom of the windscreen, and there's a lot of adjustability, so you can adjust this steering wheel. You know, there's all sorts of rake and reach, all done electronically on this particular one. And I also have to mention a perfectly round steering wheel. None of this flat bottom, flat top, squarish malarkey. This is a very proper steering wheel. It's how it should be. It's actually quite thin as well. It's not overly chunky. Just feels really good in your hands. And even the buttons here, the way they've got little ridges on them. Okay, there's a lot of functionality here, but it all feels very nice. Nice high quality feel to it. Paddles as well, perhaps a little bit plasticky on the back. I'd like if maybe they were a bit more of a metallic feel, but overall quite nice. The button controls here for the windows are similar to what we've seen from previous Lexus models. The seats themselves really nicely finished, nice bit of support. I mean, I've only just sat into this. I was sitting in it earlier for a while, and it does feel comfortable, supportive in all the right ways. And there's a really big left side footrest here as well, because obviously you've just got a brake and accelerator pedal, so I've loads of room on the left side to rest my foot as well, which is good. It'd be interesting to see how that translates to right hand drive models. And you do have the e-latch function as well, so when you open the door you just press this and it kind of electronically pops the door. So that's all quite nice. The material quality, as I mentioned, is good. Nice big sunroof. This definitely feels quite modern. I'd be interested to see how it drives. That's the real acid test for this car, is how well will it drive. But it is interestingly less striking in here than the exterior. I think it's going to be a car that will polarize opinion. Maybe that's a good thing, maybe it's not, but I think it's definitely going to get people talking about it. Now, one more thing, rear seats, because some people would be lucky enough to only ever have to travel in the back of one of these. Okay, first things first, they are not messing around when it comes to how much space is back here. Okay, I'm not the biggest person in the world. I'm 5'8", 5'9" on a good day, but I actually can't reach the seat in front of me, and that's my normal driving position. This is beyond, I think. You know, you're into S-Class, long wheelbase 7 Series, that kind of stuff in here. Really, really comfortable seats back here. Even that middle seat, okay, the middle seats always get the raw deal, but even this isn't too bad. Now, there is quite a wide transmission tunnel, or tunnel here on the floor, so maybe it's going to be better with just 2 people. Of course, you can bring this down. Nice hefty center armrest here as well, so if you don't want to have that. Obviously, if cup holders will pop out of the front of that. But yeah, this is, you could sit in here for hours. Hours. This is so comfortable. Nice big windows. The front seats, you can't really see it from this angle, but they're actually quite far apart, so you get a really good forward view as well, so you can see all the road ahead of you. I can see every bit of that large touchscreen in front as well, so if the navigation is up, I can see exactly where we're going and what time we're going to arrive. But yeah, this is very, very comfortable. Well done, Lexus. This thing is a car that, even from the backseat, I think I want to be driven in, but I still want to drive it. So let's hope that happens quite soon. Now, I have one more thing I want to show you, and that's that boot that I was talking about a little earlier. Now, the thing is with this boot is that it looks like it could be a whole hatchback, but it's not. Instead, you can see this line here, and that's exactly where it opens and hinges from. So you actually still get quite a big aperture. It's actually quite wide, even though these have big hinges. They're out of the way, and really you can get, I mean, I don't play golf, I'm not a golfist, but I'm pretty sure you could get at least one decent set of golf clubs in here. Quite deep as well. It's a little bit dark, but quite deep inside, and you don't have a really big lip ticket over here. Now this, don't worry about this, this is a pre-production model, so some of these are not what will be the finished article, so don't pay too much attention to those. These are just a temporary thing because this car is still being finalized. But nice big boot, that's what you want in a car like this, and it's electrically operated as well, so nice and convenient as well. So that's our first look around this all new Lexus ES. It is a very striking car. I know I've said this already, but that's what we should have, right? Cars should be interesting. Life's too short for boring cars. I think this technically could be a really interesting car. And from talking to some of the engineers today and what they were telling me in terms of how they want their cars to perform, in terms of dynamics and handling, and not only refinement, because there's so much space in there, this is really shaping up to be a proper luxury car. So we'll have to wait until late this year, early 2026, before we can really get a flavor, get behind the wheel and see what it's like. But until then, if you want to know more about this, do visit our website. It's CompleteCar.ie. It's in the link below. It's a great resource. You'll find all the latest news, reviews, everything you need to know about this and about all other Lexus models. We've a really wide library of models there that are all reviewed in detail. And of course, we've got the YouTube channel here as well. If there's anything that we've not covered, pop a question into the comments below and we will get to it as soon as possible. But we'd love to know what you think about this car as well. Are you a die-hard Lexus fan? Do you love what this is now? Do you not like how it looks? Is this something that is suddenly interesting you that you never saw or thought about Lexus before? Do let us know in the comments. We'll go have a bit of a discussion about it. Thanks for watching.